Pretty crazy week of trading, so I'm down $1,000. Took a payout last week, 2.5K. That hit my account on Tuesday, so that was nice. However, it left me with my two funded accounts with about 800 in drawdown. And then on Monday, we had quite a lot of volatility in gold, and just the contract size, even on one micro, it was too much volatility, and I ended up losing those accounts. And then I essentially said to myself, all right, well, I'm just going to make this week a consolidation week, rebuild, get as many funded accounts set up as I can to come into next week and trade. My goal was just to have at least 3 funded accounts. So I've gone through about 9 or 10 evaluations, paid for 9 or 10 evaluations. So it's about $1,000, right? So down 1,000 for the week. But the silver lining is I've got 4 evaluations passed now. So I just took a few trades this morning, got these top 4 passed. So they're all passed, 53,000. And then this bottom one here, I've got about 800 left to pass that. So I'll take some more trades today on that one. But if that takes me till early next week to pass, that's fine as well. I've at least at this point got four funded accounts locked in for Monday. So the goal is to have this max allocation and then come in next week and just take one micro trade, just because gold's been so volatile. Keep my position size at 1 micro, aim for 150 to 200 a day, copy trade across all of these accounts. And yeah, even if I took a minimum payout of 500 across all of the accounts, that's 2.5K, which is like 3,800 or something like that. So that'd be a nice payout. That's even just taking that minimum payout. I'm not thinking like that. I'm obviously going to take the opportunities as they come up, but it's just a good position to be in to have 4 or 5 funded accounts going into next week. So we'll call this minus 1,000 for the week, and still up 1.5K for February so far, because I took that 2.5K payout. So that's still fine, still profitable even after paying to get these funded. And now I've got 4 or 5 funded accounts. So we'll see what I can do next week and go from there. It's pretty interesting, the psychology of, I've been through all this before with drawdowns, losses, all of that. It is interesting though, the psychology when you're relying on the income. So I'm now doing this full-time trading thing, at least for a little bit, to see how it goes. And definitely the psychology is different. When you've got a full-time job and you've got money coming in, there's pros and cons to it. So when you've got money coming in, obviously you can take more risk. You're not as attached to outcomes, which is a good way to be. You don't want to be attached to outcomes as a trader. You want to be focused on what the market's doing, what your setups are doing. So, you can trade better in that sense. However, I would say one thing I am finding is I am treating it much more seriously, obviously, because it's my only source of income at the moment. And that does have its benefits. It increases focus quite a bit, so it is interesting. And I think my trading's getting better because obviously I'm looking at the market every day at the same time for a couple of hours. For me, it's the morning when I wake up, so it's the first thing I do, whereas when I had a job, it would be after work when I come home. I'm usually tired, and then there's the gym. So, pros and cons to it so far. It's not fun having a losing week like this, but that's part of it. And part of the whole thing about being a trader is, or trying to trade profitably, is the mental side of it, right? So your own psychology. Because I know how to trade, I know how to, I know what I'm looking for, but that's not enough. You have to obviously have control of yourself and your ability to execute, your ability to not absolutely lose your mind when things are going wrong. So yeah. it's interesting. It's interesting. So far, still profitable for the month, up 1.5K. So I don't need to run back to the day job yet, but a difficult week for sure. Silver lining is I've got these funded accounts. Going to come into next week strong, in a really good position to try and take advantage of some moves, and see if we can get another nice payout this month. So that's been the week.